let's run up here. I am recording, right? It's been a minute. Hello everyone, how's it going? This is Go Slowbriar from Flatironix Entertainment. I'm coming to you from a brand new place today. Oof. Jeez. Interrupting me. Coming to you from a brand new place today, and that is me and crazybees mine on the Dogcraft server. There's a lot going on here, and probably we will be doing episodes from here instead of the vegetarian, possibly instead of all of them. It depends on how much is going on here. So I decided to do builds here because I made the build team, which is awesome. Awesome. And I decided that I needed to organize everything and wanted to show off my base, show off everything that we've been doing here, and actually do a fair amount of it with you. It's all laid out and started, but that's about it. So this is actually the first project that we're going to take a look at today. I think this first video is probably just going to be looking at all of the things that we need to do. And then each episode after that will ultimately then each episode will just be focused on one project or one area. And we'll do that until the build team really starts rolling. Let's come up here real quick though. So all I've really done is just walled off the spawner. Put a couple platforms up here. I'm kind of playing around with the idea right now of extending this roof up a whole bunch and doing a few more platforms up. Just so that I get some things other than zombies. So that's the project with this. We are obviously in one of crazybees' mine shafts here. There's a little enchanting room. And this mine is another project, or the second one. I'll let crazybees show off her mine whenever she's finished with it. So this is the item storage system, at least until 1.13. I'll probably have to refigure all of it, but each and every one of these water flows all end up into the system. Just throw the items in. And they come down into there. So this all needs to be made to look a whole lot nicer. and to be streamlined so that it actually works 100% of the time, and this wall here needs to be pushed back to make a few more mine shafts so that we can start pulling out diamonds. I'm in a really strange position. I've been playing for 3 or 4 weeks at this point, and I focused entirely too much on making big builds and didn't focus enough on actually playing some of the game mechanics. So like I have gold iron or gold. I have gold armor. Eventually I'll have this fancy chain armor. Eventually. Honestly, not a whole lot of work needs to go into this area other than making it look pretty. But it's pretty close to finished. Until we get back here. And this is a system that almost works, kind of. So this is another thing that I need to put some work into, so another project. Basically the mine is going to be one project with all these smaller projects within it. It all just needs a touch-up. It needs to look nice. So that's one of the projects, and the mob farm is another project, so there's 2. And when we come outside out here, we'll see the 3rd. This is my pretty basic but extremely effective and efficient sugarcane farm. Oh, I thought I was in trouble. It's just always pumping out sugarcane, so that's cool. Pretty standard sugarcane farm. Let's come up here and take a look at here. So this flat area down here, this needs to be a castle, obviously. It really, really needs to be a castle. And I got an idea from on the forum. I was talking about making this castle, and somebody suggested that I put a big, tall, giant, sci-fi futuristic building, like a tower, right in the middle of it. And then the castle wraps around it on purpose and make that part of the lore. As we had talked about in my vegetarian series, if you watched that, a lot of times these castles and structures were built right on top of megaliths. So in this one, instead of like a megalithic structure, the suggestion was to do a futuristic structure and then to have it like times have fallen backwards, and the castle was built up around, and probably to some part or to some extent with the technology from the technology that they find within that tower. So that's going to be project 3. And then up here, just to show you what we've got, I've got these 2 farms. I made the spruce farm, and Crazy Bees made the dark oak farm out there. It's of course prettier than this one. Actually more functional as well. And this is Andre, because, he's a giant. Moving on. So getting back to the aesthetics things that need to happen within this mine area. These stairs are really cool on the bottom and really funky on the top. And I've just a little bit started to carve out the middle. I want some opinions on this, to be honest. I think that I know what I want to do, and I think that what I want to do is make it like an arch over the top that goes all the way down. I think that would look amazing. Amazing, amazing. But I'm open to other suggestions. It's the same with these trapdoors. I've been trying to figure out if I like the trapdoors in front of the bushes. It's a lot of trapdoors, but I think it's doable. Okay, so at the top of those stairs is my fishing, my ice fishing rink here. A little bit of ice fishing. It's good for you. And then that's where the stairs are in my farm down there. And that's where the castle is going to be. So once we look at everything, we'll come back down here and check out this room. But let's move on to the next projects that we need to finish around here in our area. This back here is going to be our little village, and we are calling it Sakura. It is a collaborated project between me and crazybees and another player, Kelly Girl. Just currently. We'll see who else, if anybody else ever wants to. That's our first house. And the other houses are not necessarily going to be within this style. I am just going to build a cherry blossom tree right there. I had pink wool, but right there is going to be a large cherry blossom tree, and I wanted this nice little house to complement that. So it's, I don't know if I would say finished, but it just needs to be furnished, I guess, is all. It's pretty close to finished, and it's pretty simple. But there is some work that needs to happen out here in this little village, kind of like in the mine. I would say that this village is probably one task in and of itself, but there are projects. So let's go take a look at those. At least a few of them. Out here in this wall is going to go a chicken farm. And I've already got one other farm built out here. But that's where the chickens are going to go. I ultimately would like to be able to make cake. There are things on this server that are quests, and multiple things to do with the quests, and some of them are crafting, and one of the things to craft is a whole lot of cake. So I would like the ability to make a whole lot of cake, ultimately. Our goal is to have this as an arch. That's probably going to be a crazybees project. But this path back here is something that we're collaborating on with crazybees, and a part of this that needs to get finished. It's partially done, as you can see. Comes through here. But then this is about as far as we have it to right now. We would like to put a stable down in here, and maybe some other kind of farms. Somewhere out there. And then around here is going to be the path. So that's actually our next task, as I said, is this path that we're working on together. And it goes all the way around. And then out here, so if that's Kelly Girl's house, this is crazybees' house. And then this one is going to be my house out here. So we've got a couple houses to work on in a path. And just to get an idea for what these other farms are going to look like, back here is my little sheep farm. With pink sheep, of course. And a Jeb. I mean, the thing to take away from that is that I do actually have a fancy bow now. This is the first time that I've had a fancy bow, or that I've really actually gone out of my way to do the PvE, well, to do the fighting things. I'm usually a builder, not a fighter. It's kind of fun though. Cool. So this is another plot for a house, and this plot and also a plot over there are so far unspoken for. I might end up just building another house like I did with that one out here and out there, but if anybody else wants to put one out here or over there, I think it'd be pretty cool to have some more people out here. I don't really want this to be a big huge giant community, but just to have a few little houses and whatnot, I think that'd be pretty cool. So back here is the other plot. And this one comes with a selling point here. Let me show you. It's really special. Right here is the mine shaft that somebody else lovingly dug. Probably just to get some iron. You know, right next to my sign. I mean, I guess technically it says behind here. But there's mine entrance access there that we could probably even hook up to the main mine. And I say that because this birch farm here, which is our third tree farm, does actually funnel right into the mine. That down there goes right into the smeltery. So basically I can chop down these trees and then throw them into that water chute up there, and then they all go down into the smeltery room. So let's pause on Sakura and the path for a moment and take a look at this right here, because this is going to be a small station right here, and then it is going to go south, some hundreds of blocks, and then from there it goes west thousands of blocks, and there's going to be a station down there, and then a station in the middle, and that whole rail line. And that's the next project, is this whole rail line to connect up to the main rail for the server, so that it's easy to get over here to our city and our base. So the path comes along here, stops at the little rail station, and then it goes through this cave, and we need to make this cave something cool. That's part of the path thing and part of the Sakura thing. And out here we've got just a little bit started, just for some basic ideas. We're really just kind of playing around with the idea of a snow cave out here. We'll kind of wrap around and go into... all of this will be snow. All of it. So let's take a look at this super janky map. Down here, in this corner right here, that is the base that we're at right now. This is the rail that I was talking about. South, hundreds of blocks. West, thousands of blocks. This is the mall, which we'll go and look at that next probably. And then from the mall, there's a long rail line up to one of my other homes, which is an almost finished project. So we'll go check that out after the mall. Yeah, that's pixel art of the Mona Lisa. You guys should really come check out this server. Whew. All that running made me tired. Here we are in the Yellow District. And the Yellow District is important because within the Yellow District is the Sakura Mall. Named after our little town. You know, I haven't been out here in a little bit to actually work on it, and it kind of needs some work, but it's definitely off to a really good start. But this is the next task for this series, is going to be working on and probably completing this build. I mean, there's no reason I can't make it a tower. So I should probably make it a tower, right? Okay, so next we were looking at that map and I showed way up at the northern part of it, I said that that was where the second home is. And that's this right here. So this is my house in the city of Akara. Ooh, that bridge is coming along nicely. In fact, I think this whole district is coming along nicely. So up on the other side of the bridge, right up there, that's going to be crazybees' house, and that's one of her projects. And she will hopefully be doing videos soon showcasing some of her builds and things that she needs to get done as well. Maybe if she gets some encouragement in the chat. Let's go take a look inside. This is technically one of the tasks, but we just need to actually get something in here. Get some decorations up on this level. Right now there's just maps of the other areas. And I mean, like, that staircase is really cool, but it's just kinda bland down at the bottom. It looks nice up here, except the walls. But you know, again, in this area it could use, I don't know what, just some little decorations here and there. And then come down here. And I've got one wall done, because I wanted to bring this map up here again. So once again, there's the base and there's the mall, and then we're now up here. So a little bit of interiors here. Not really a whole lot to do. I was kind of hoping for a way up there, but I actually like it a lot better without. I'm just thinking I might need to, like, remove that door. Put something else there, something decorative or something. Okay, so this area represents the last project that we currently have that's just demanding attention right now. And this is actually what the first episode is going to be, is this area out here. This is the future location of the city of Tetley. Tiniest T and I are the mayors of this lovely town. There is another embassy going up. Currently I'm working on terraforming this hill out here and setting up these embassy plots so that we can get all of the embassies up and built. And that's probably what the first episode is going to entail, is a fair amount of terraforming out here and building this out to look nice, because right now it's just a giant flat wall. And then getting the rest of those embassy plots set up, getting paths. What I'm kind of playing around with is the idea of doing a few little cave stairs up, and then also some stairs up along the side so that there are plenty of ways up. I think that's pretty important. but this is just the little temporary path that we currently have. But what it goes to is this area here, which is actually my area up here, and what's going in this area is going to be a hot springs coming out around this lava, and there will be a nice, really cool looking building. As some of you may know, I'm in Colorado, and hot springs are just, they're cool. They're really cool. There's one that's the hot sulfur springs, and it's got just a whole bunch of the little pools all stacked up along the hill, the way that you would like see in movies or something. That's kind of what I'm thinking about putting out here. And then from this side over this way is going to be the embassies, and then this will be a little bit more of a cliff, but then like starting, geez, about here, probably. Beyond that line is just going to be a nice terraformed hill all the way around here. So to show the other projects that are going on out here, this wall is going to be the market, and there's not too much going on behind it. So part of the terraforming of this hill is making it look nice down to here, not so flat up there, and easy to get up with the stairs. This back here is going to be, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's going to be personal storage for days. Just layers and layers and layers down and out of personal storage for all of the Tetley residents. So anybody who lives here will have access to a couple personal storage things here, and then we're also going to have some giant mass storage right underneath City Hall in the center, where everybody can store the giant base things in kind of community use, like dirt, cobblestone, sorts of things. One of our big goals in Tetley is to actually make it like really a community, whatever that entails for everybody. I mean, part of figuring out what it entails is, or part of making a community is figuring out how everybody who's a part of it defines that, I guess. And I feel like that'll probably ultimately be a part of this. We do, of course, have a whole lot of ideas, all of us, but that's going to be City Hall right here, with the nether portal, and that hooks up to the NTN, so it's easy to get out here, even now, if you want to come out and take a look at what's going on. So just one more thing to look at, super quick. So back here out to this room, and here we've got all of the maps, except for that big, huge, long, gross, janky map. And these two need some work too, but we'll get there. Maybe that could be the final task, is filling out all the maps. But this is a map of the Ghostlow and crazybees base and Sakura, which is this area right here. And currently we are looking at this little inlet, so that path wraps around here, but ultimately I'd kind of like to go up around this lake as well and just have it be this area as the little village. So here's a more zoomed in view. We've got the birch farm, the spruce farm, the dark oak farm. The ugly torch madness out here is going to end up being the castle. Here we are inside the mine, which is like it's like, yeah, this. It covers this area. The mine is quite extensive. Even further zoomed out. And then we also have the beginnings, the very rough beginnings. Right? Yes, the very rough beginnings of the Tedley map, which this is also a much larger map, so I probably will end up having to move it somewhere. But I hope that you've enjoyed this little mini starter tour. If there's anything that you'd like to see in more detail, I mean, watch the next episodes and eventually it'll come out, or you could always like hit me up on Discord or hit me up on YouTube or find us on Facebook at Flatironix or hit me up in game even and let me know what you want to see. What you want to see me work on first? Well, not first, next. Let me know what you want to see me work on next. The very first project is going to be that hill in Tedley. I don't know why I'm pointing because it's who knows where from here. But thank you for checking out my base in this first video, and I hope to see you in the ones that follow.